Today, I'm actually going to hang these crystal curtains with C-hooks. Now, there's several different ways that you actually can attach these curtains to your backdrop, but I like using C-hooks because it's simple, it's easy, especially for this basic design that I'm going to do today. That's really all that's necessary, right? So first thing you want to do is hang all of your C-hooks on your crossbar, right? Which would be just like that. Now, these particular crystal curtains already come with loops, and it's 2 loops on each crystal curtain, which makes it so super easy just to attach it to the top, right? So all thing you want to do is unravel your curtains. And if you have ever experienced these bad boys getting tangled up, you certainly is going to want to check out that video over there, just so you can see exactly how to wind them up properly so you don't run into that problem, right? So you just want to unwind it all the way. Now, these crystal curtains are relatively long. These are actually the 12-foot ones. And good thing is Shop Wild Things have all different sizes, right? Not to mention they have custom where you can get them whatever size you want, which I believe is super dope. It's nothing like customization, right? So if you can see, here are your loops. Here's one and here's one. So you just want to adjust them to where you want them to be. I primarily always have them like one on each end, just so all of the weight could be evenly distributed, right? Because guess what? If you have them both here and you go to hang it up, it's going to hang, you know, it's not going to hang right. So you just want to make sure you have them evenly dispersed, right? So you're just going to hang one on your C-hook, move it over, and then hang this one on your other C-hook, just like that. But then you're going to do the same exact thing on the other side, right? So you just want to pick up your crystal curtain and get the unraveling. And this is really easy, again, like I said, if you put them up the right way. Now, if you have crystal curtains that are tangled up, oh boy, I feel for you, because they can take quite a bit of time to untangle. Ask me how I know. It's always a ask me how I know experience, right? So you just want to unwind those babies. Make sure all your loose ones, if you have any loose ones, keep going and going. Till you have your 2 hoops. Then you want to just hang this the same exact way that you hung the first one. Now, in your design, so that you don't have any gaps in between your 2 crystal curtains, you want to make sure that they are as close as possible. You want to make sure there's no like gaps like that, unless you're specifically trying to create that look. So just make them close as possible. Then from this point, a couple things can happen. Now, if you are going to attach a valance, this is when it's time to do that. So I'm going to attach a valance just to kind of give it, you know, to cover my poles for one. You know, that's one of the golden rules here at the Posh Academy. And then 2, just to kind of give it some pizzazz, right? So let's get into that. Okay, so since this is a real basic design, right, I am actually going to kind of jazz it up with a printed piece of fabric, right? And this is not a curtain panel. This is something I just picked up from the local fabric store. So this is kind of when you are able to get kind of creative and just kind of, you know, let your creativity kind of take a life of its own, right? So we're just going to attach this valance really quickly. And if you don't know how to properly attach a valance, guess what? I have a video right down there in the description to tell you exactly how to do it the easy way, right? We don't want to do things the difficult way. We kind of want to do it as easy as possible. And that's how I like things anyway. But you can learn my simple step-by-step technique by looking at that other video. So once you have your valance attached, right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to begin to untie your, you may use zip ties, you could use these Chanel stems, you could use balloons, rubber bands, you can use whatever it is, right? But now you're going to start to unravel these. And you don't want to unravel these until they're actually on your backdrop. If you try to do these while they're on the floor, or if you try to do them beforehand, I'm gonna pray for you. Because these are so easy to get tangled. However, if you do it the right way, they really, it's really much easier than, you know, than a lot of people have their experiences, right? And also when you are unraveling your ties, you don't want to go too far down. You kind of want to just go far enough to where you're going to raise, because again, you don't want any strands dangling. These little babies will they'll take a life of its own, and you want them to go straight down, but guess what? That hardly ever happens when you unravel too many at the same time. So you just want to let them dangle and be free about the length of where they currently are, right? Okay, so once you have your valance attached, now you're going to begin to lift your backdrop, right? And you don't want to lift it, you know, like really, really high on one end, because your strands will begin to shimmy just as well as your actual rod, right? If you don't have it secure, and when you go to lift one side entirely too high, everything will slide down and then you'll have a little disaster, right? So let's not do that. So just lift one, make sure your poles are not exposed as you're lifting, right? You want to definitely keep your panel like draped to the front. Even if you see like a little bit exposed, take yourself a pin or whatever you got to do. Do not have your poles exposed. Then you want to raise the other side. So if you're using a pin to secure your two pieces of fabric together, you just want to make sure you don't see the pin, right? But that way, when you go to lift, your panel won't be exposed. See, that way it's covering your entire pole. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. There we go. Now we're going to lift. Okay, so once you have your backdrop raised to your desired height, you want to continuously unravel your zip ties or pipe cleaners, right? So even though I am not going all the way up to 12 feet and I have some excess beads left over, now is when you kind of want to hide them. You can either hide them or you can kind of just let them dangle on the floor like a puddle. But I would not want like for me, I would not want just like a whole bunch of beads right there at the bottom of my backdrop, right? So a few things you could do, with one of them being just release your beads the amount that you need, and then pull your excess over to the side. Just to kind of give it some kind of uniformity. And don't forget, don't lose them. Like, don't get them all mixed up, because then it's quite a mess. So you just want to make sure that they are flat, all going down all the way to the bottom. And make sure that your strands are straight. And then just kind of create a train along going inside your puddle, right? And then do the same thing on the other side. Then just bring them all out so everything still goes straight down. Be careful not to get these bad boys all tangled up, because that is not pretty. And then you just still want your train that you're creating at the bottom, you still want it to go all the way over to this side, right? That kind of keeps it neat. Then last thing you're going to do is just puddle up your bases, and that's pretty much it. And that pretty much is it for the crystal curtains, right? Now, the good thing about this is these things come in an array of colors, right? They come in an array of sizes, and there's so much you could do to these things, right? You can really create that wow, that bling, all that good stuff, right? I see one of my strands. Hold up. That's why I say make sure your strands are going straight down to the bottom. But just click that link below. That way you can go and get whatever kind, color, size that you want to create amazing masterpieces as well, right from Shop Wild Things, because they pretty much, I love those guys. They just give you so much variety of things that you could do to your event designs, right? So tell me down below how you like this design, and if it's something specific you want to see, just let me know so we could get it on the schedule. And don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to share this video and hit the notifications bell so you know every time I am uploading a new video, because guess what? It may be just the one that you asked for, right? Stay tuned.